What's up, guys? So I was hitting today. I was getting some work in the cages with one of my buddies that I used to play with in college, and we worked on something today with his stance before he even loads, right? And didn't really change anything mechanically, just tweaked a little setup for him. So he starts closed off, all right? And it's totally fine. I'm not telling you you can't start closed off or you have to start neutral or open, whatever. Whatever's comfortable to you is what you should be doing, okay? But I want to explain to you why it's really important that no matter where you start, you need to end up pretty close to neutral, if not neutral. And I mean just like feet lined up, right? Straight towards the pitcher. Because I'll tell you why. So he was having this issue of being very across with his bat path, okay? Very, what I like to call east to west instead of north to south. We're very here to here, east to west instead of being through, okay? And the reason he was very east to west is because when he would start closed off, he would finish closed, and so he would have to scissor. He'd have to scissor his back leg back to create space so that his elbow could slot, okay? I'll make a different video about this when I have time to show you the visuals, so it'll be a little more, it'll be easier for me to actually explain it and you see it instead of just me talking about it. But the reason you want to land neutral is because whether you're closed or you're open or you're neutral when you start, when you take your load and you're going towards the pitcher, if you cut yourself off and stay closed, one, your body is going, if you're a righty, your body is going towards right field, and if you're a lefty, your body's going towards left field instead of to where the ball's coming from with the pitcher. So you want to stay in line with that because it's the right angle to the ball, right? If you get thrown an inside pitch as a righty and you load closed off, right, you're going to have to scissor, and your immediate reaction is going to be to yank this way. It's going to be yanked because you can't get that inside pitch like you could if you were neutral and had space, okay? And the other thing that's important is when you land neutral, you have to have good posture. And what I mean by that is you have to have a hinge at your hip so that your top half is more over the plate. So if you land like tall like this, okay, instead of like this, your body is going to have to make that change and get the top half over at some point, or you're just going to roll over. That's what's going to happen. You're just going to roll over. Because if you are upright, okay, and you try to swing through the zone, you can only go this way. You can only take your shoulders to the ball instead of in an east to west path instead of taking them to the ball in a north to south path. It would be a lot easier for me to show you this, but again, if you understand this concept, this will keep you from rolling over. It'll keep you from spinning off the ball. If you feel like you're hitting the ball to left field with a bunch of topspin and you're wondering why you can't do that, it's probably one of the two things. Either you're not neutral after your load, ready to fire, or you are not getting good posture over the plate, which is causing you to just stay tall and roll over, okay? That's very important because getting yourself in a good position to hit is the first thing you can do to make sure you're successful as a hitter, right? If you don't get to a good, ready position to fire from post-load, like if your load does not get you to a good, ready position, then you're not going to be a successful hitter the majority of the time. We're not chasing a perfect swing, okay? I talked to my buddy about this. We're not chasing a perfect swing. We're chasing a consistent swing because in reality, there is no such thing as a perfect swing. There's a swing that gets the job done. Your swing, you could take a perfect version of your swing and still be out, right? We're not chasing perfection. We're chasing consistency because consistency is going to allow us to adjust at the plate when we need to adjust and still be successful, right? It's being able to not take the same swing over and over, but realize, oh shoot, I got thrown a low and away slider. I need to be a little more over the plate, go through that as a righty, okay? Or, oh shoot, an up and in fastball, I got to turn and burn on that up here, right? You may deviate slightly from what your picture perfect swing looks like, and that's totally fine, because we're not chasing a perfect swing. We're chasing base hits. And it doesn't really matter what it looks like as long as we get on base, because that's the end goal. We're trying to beat the pitcher, you know? Having a good at-bat, hitting a solid line drive, and you get out, you still beat the pitcher. But we're not chasing this idea of, oh, well, I took a perfect swing, right? We're chasing, hey, how can I get on base and help my team win? So think about this. I'll make another video about it. I'll probably make a couple Instagram reels about it where I can actually help you visualize what I mean when I say landing neutral and having posture over the plate to create space. It'll make a lot more sense with the visual, but just kind of have that thought in your head and make sure to think about that the next time you go hit and see, hey, am I landing neutral? You can look down and see at your feet if they land in line with each other. And you can look down and go, hey, am I landing really tall, or am I landing with a hinge at my hip and my chest over the plate more, right? Those two things right there are going to fix a lot of your issues. They're going to clean up your swing. They're not going to change your swing, but they're going to clean up the slot that you have, and it's going to help you hit the ball with more backspin.